How would I personally like to deal with narcissists? Well, I'd like to put them all in a big box, weigh it down with concrete and sink it to the bottom of the deepest ocean. But they tell me that's unethical. Wouldn't work anyway. That'd simply develop in the next generation. As always, the best solution is prevention. If you know somebody's a narcissist, don't get involved. If you have to, keep them at a distance and always be aware of what they're doing. Narcissists always have a nasty habit of pulling you into their dramas. If they're already in your life, then it's very difficult to get rid of them. They're like some giant spider in their own web, a web they've been building for years, and it's very difficult to pry them out of that. You can try fighting fire with fire. Be as competitive as they are. Try to predict what their next move, and beat them to the punchline. Unfortunately, if you're not a narcissist, this is very difficult, because essentially you're spending your entire life trying to use people and think of their weaknesses, and that kind of defeats the purpose of living, really. If there are two narcissists around that can compete, they might be able to balance each other out. This is when you grab some popcorn, sit back and watch the fireworks. When two narcissists don't like each other, this is when things break. It's usually when lawsuits start too. Unfortunately, if there's double the narcissists, there's also double the cons. It's inevitable. Narcissists will eventually get into trouble with the law. They will continually push boundaries until they push too far, too fast, and they will cross the line, and that's when they get taken to court. This is when you push, and you push hard, and you don't stop, and you don't give them even a second, and you fight tooth and claw, and you don't take any moment for granted. With the support of as much of the community as you can, you've got to push that narcissist right out of your life. How does that song go again?
I'm gonna
push that narcissist
right out of my hair and send him on his way.
In one example, I was told about the story of a narcissist who was the leader in a spiritual organization. He spread sexual rumors about one of the female members, and she successfully took him to court. But the thing was, the other organization's leaders didn't believe her accusations because, well, he's a narcissist and he's manipulative and has allies, and they only believed her once she had won in court. And after that, he was successfully able to be banned. Unfortunately, litigation happens only once. If you miss the opportunity, it's gone. If you take the opportunity and lose, then the narcissist will come back even more narcissistic, even more obnoxious than before. Sound familiar? This is what happened with Trump. The Democrats tried very hard to push him out. They didn't succeed, and he came back even more obnoxious than before, to the point where he started a purge of all the US government departments of anyone who was not 100% loyal. One of the most sagely pieces of advice I can give is to become a stronger person, to learn how to enforce your boundaries, how to set boundaries, how to say no, how to communicate better. It's ironic that in order to deal with a narcissist, you have to become a better person. Narcissists will always push boundaries, so you have to learn to set those boundaries. And you have to be strong, even as the narcissist accuses you of being abusive simply for enforcing your boundaries. Communicate. Narcissists get a hold on communities because they rely on the fact that people will remain quiet about what the narcissist does. People generally don't want to make a fuss, and they err on the side of, it doesn't matter, especially if the narcissist looks charming and has allies. But by not saying anything, people are implicitly condoning a narcissist's actions. You have to understand, you didn't choose the narcissist's actions, they did. It's not your job to defend them. They did it to themselves. If they did something wrong, tell other people. You don't need to feel bad about being impolite or about getting them into trouble. If you communicate openly, this in itself is a danger to narcissists, because then they can't hide their actions and they can no longer tell different people different things. Narcissists split communities, and so the way to deal with narcissists is to bring the community together.